What's up, geometry? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 6.1, 6.2, 6.3 kind of all combined. And we're going to be looking at a few different vocabulary terms that deal with triangles and be able to apply those in different areas of triangles to basic knowledge of geometric figures. So let's go ahead and get started here. First, we're going to just type out a few of these definitions and then I'll add some pictures in afterwards. Perpendicular bisector is a line, segment, or ray that passes through the midpoint or a segment and is perpendicular to that segment. Okay? The perpendicular bisector theorem just states if a point is on the perpendicular bisector of a segment, then it is equidistant from the segment's end points. And we're just going to make sure that we spell equidistant correctly. The last one is the perpendicular bisector theorem converse, and that just says if a point is equidistant from the endpoints of a segment, then it is on the perpendicular bisector of the segment. Okay, so let's draw some pictures just to see what those things would look at. First off, we got a perpendicular bisector, and I'm going to label this A, point M, and then point B. And we're going to notice that M is the bisector of AB, and we're seeing a perpendicular relationship from M to, we can even say ray MC. The perpendicular bisector theorem, I'm going to draw this picture for both the theorem and the converse. So let's maybe start with A to B, and then we'll have D here in the center, and then C up top. And if we notice there's a perpendicular bisector of a segment, then it'll be equidistant from the endpoints. So A to C will be the same length as B to C, as long as this is showing perpendicular. And then the converse of that will just say if we are given AC is congruent to BC, then C lies on the perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, take a few moments. If you need to pause right here, you can. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get started and try some examples together. So example 1, line FG is the perpendicular bisector of EH. Find EF. So because point F to G is showing the perpendicular bisector, that means EF is congruent to HF. So I can say 4A minus 15 is equal to A plus 12. I'm going to go ahead and solve for A, subtracting A on both sides and adding 15 to both sides. I'm going to get 3A is equal to 27, and dividing both sides by 3, I get A is equal to 9. So to find EF, EF is equal to 4A minus 15, so that's 4 times 9 minus 15, or 36 minus 15. So EF is going to give me 21. Okay. If you want to try this next one, go ahead. It says find the value of X. And what we're seeing here is we can pretend that this is point A, this is point B, and this is point C. And as long as A to C is equal to B to C, that means C is lying on the perpendicular bisector, which means 17x minus 3 is equal to 9x plus 13. So let's go ahead and solve. I'm going to move, starting by moving 9x to both sides, subtracting and adding 3 to both sides. So I'm going to get 8x is equal to 16. And then when I divide both sides by 8, this is where I get my x equaling 2. Next up for triangle vocabulary is angle bisector theorem, and the converse of that. So again, how we did it before, we're going to type out some definitions and then draw some pictures. An angle bisector is a segment that divides an angle into two congruent angles. You can see it using a line, a segment, or a ray. Okay, this is like a review. You should know what an angle bisector is at this point if you've been following my course at all. Angle bisector theorem: if a point is on the bisector of an angle, then it is, here it is, equidistant from the sides of the angle. And the angle bisector theorem converse, it states if a point on the interior of an angle is equidistant from the sides of an angle, then it is on the bisector of that angle. So let's go and draw some pictures to represent what is going on. So let's say we have angle ABC. And then we have ray BD, and it's showing that ABD is congruent to CBD. So BD would be the angle bisector, okay? The next statement is our angle bisector theorem. So I'm going to change up our drawing just a little bit here. So again, let's maybe call this angle DBE. And we'll have our bisector ray BF. That's just going to show that D to F is the same distance as F to E, because we're noticing BF is the angle bisector. Okay, then the converse of that is just going to state if FD is perpendicular to DB, so we're going to show perpendicular lines here, okay, and FE is perpendicular to EB, so that means the distances we're showing are true. Then DF can be equal to FE, so BF bisects angle DBE. Okay, let's go and try some examples now that we've gotten an idea of what angle bisectors are. So finding SP, and what we're seeing here is my angles being bisected by a line JS, so that means 3x plus 5 is equal to 6x minus 7. I'm going to go and start by subtracting 3x on both sides and adding 7 to both sides. So I get 12 is equal to 3x. Dividing both sides by 3, I'm going to get 4 is equal to x, but I want to know what SP is. So SP is equal to 6x minus 7. So we're going to plug in that 4 for my x, or 24 minus 7. I'm going to get 17 is equal to SP. Okay, see if you can try this one on your own, and then when you're ready to check it, click play. So this one is going to be using the angle bisector theorem. It's stating I'm seeing perpendicular relationship from one point to the next, touching that bisector. So because these are equal, then that means these two angles are equal. So 5x minus 11 is equal to 8x minus 41. And then we solve for x. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. That's my smaller variable. add 41 to both sides. I'm going to end up getting 3x is equal to 30. So when I divide both sides by 3, 10 is equal to x. The last part we're going to talk about is from lesson 6.3, I believe. This is where we're going to see medians and altitudes, different than the medians that you've talked about in data. So a median of a triangle is a triangle segment with endpoints that are a vertex of the triangle and the midpoint of the side opposite of the vertex. Okay. The important thing to remember here is a triangle segment with endpoints that are a vertex of the triangle and the midpoint of the side opposite of the vertex. Okay. So keeping that in mind, altitude is a triangle segment from a vertex of the triangle to the line containing the opposite side and perpendicular to that side. It can lie in, on, or outside the triangle. Okay? When you think altitude, you think like how high a plane has to fly in order to be at its cruising altitude. So that's kind of the same situation here. You're wanting to maybe even consider what is the true height of the triangle. Okay? Hopefully that gives you an idea when we start to name a few segments down here. Let's go ahead and draw a picture of the median and altitude. So to start us off, I'm going to plop 2 points here, A to B. These aren't perfect, but once I draw my tick marks, you should be able to notice. Okay, AB is the median because it's a triangle segment with endpoints that are a vertex. So the vertex meaning letter A of the triangle and the midpoint of the side opposite that vertex. So this is showing midpoint because my segments are now equivalent. Okay. Altitude, I'm going to show you two different ways we're going to see altitude. Again, let's start with A, B, C, and then D. Okay. And this one, BD, is the altitude. Okay. And then you can also have an altitude that looks like this. A, B, C, and then D. BD is still the altitude because it's showing the true height of the triangle. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put all those words together. So we've talked about perpendicular bisector, we've talked about angle bisectors, we've talked about medians, we've talked about altitudes. Now we're going to use those to name each of the triangle segments here. I would take a moment and pause. It's kind of like a review of everything we've seen. Once you're done, click play so you can check what we've got. Okay, number one is just a perpendicular bisector. Number two is a median because we're going from a vertex to the opposite side, and it's the midpoint of that opposite side. Number three is the altitude because it's defining the true height, and we're showing a perpendicular angle to represent the true height. Number four is a perpendicular bisector. Okay. Number five is a median. Number six is an altitude. Again, going from one vertex to the other side, opposite of it, showing that perpendicular reasoning. Number seven is an angle bisector. And then number 8 is another altitude. Okay, so hopefully that cleared up some things for you, or gives you kind of an idea of what each one represents. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time when we learn more about triangles and their inequalities. Have a great day.